Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. I'm going to spend some time talking to Marc Preston, and he is founder and CEO of a company called, is this Anonabox? Is that correct?
That's Anonabox.
Anonabox. Thank you so much. I learn something new every day. Talk a little bit about the this technology company and the many spaces it's in, and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Well, Anonabox is a small Wi-Fi router for privacy and anonymity online. And we've got 4 different SKU models. They range from a more novice level user all the way up to the advanced sort of IT person. And all our products that we generate are for privacy and security and anonymity online. We all know where Big Brother is with recording data, and we're on the opposite end of that, trying to get the privacy of these users secured.
Yeah, very good. Well, tell us a little bit about the history.
Sure. So Anonabox was originally developed by August Jamar. He actually is my system administrator here at Social Inc. And he had Anonabox on Kickstarter for about 5 or 6 days before it got kicked off. It had done $600,000 in 5 days during that time.
Wow!
And it got mysteriously kicked off. Kickstarter never gave him the full disclosure as far as reasons why it got kicked off. There was a lot of comments as to his injection mold, the piece of plastic being over it, was the same as some other Chinese company. Either way, they, for reasons that seemed a little bit over us, kicked him off. And he went on to Indiegogo and raised about $100,000. That's where we came along with Social Inc. and ended up acquiring the company. August had been working here for about 3 months prior to us even knowing about the company. Once we looked through all the different things that happened, the financials, et cetera, we were easily able to determine that it was a very large smear campaign behind the company, and we ended up acquiring it here at Social Inc.
Yeah, very interesting. So why do you think there was such a huge response when it came to crowdfunding?
It was a breakthrough product. Nobody had done something like that before. I know they always say there's nothing new under the sun, but that day, August came up with something, pretty new under the sun. It was a product that was promised an easy plug-and-play route to the Internet and privacy behind it. And it actually does exactly what it says. Although the critics, wanted to tear it apart and say it doesn't work. Why was it so popular? It was the right time for the product. If you see everything coming out with the FBI trying to force Apple's hand into turning over information, et cetera, it's just that time where a device like this is really becoming prominent in the market, and searches for these types of devices as well.
Yeah, and what's the website, by the way, so people can get more information?
Certainly, it's Anonabox, ANONABOX.com.
I'll give that one more time.
Certainly, that's Anonabox, ANONABOX.com.
So talk about the old paradigm that this has become a disruptor to.
The old paradigm was that people didn't realize what their privacy meant, what big data meant as far as its collection and how it was interpreted by a big data company. So as more stories come out, and the problem for the public is a lot of these stories involve large hacks that cover a vast swath of users, maybe even including their own personal data, and then they really become attuned to what's going on in the market, what data has been collected on them, what profiles have been built, and they become very astute to how do I get around this? How do I stop this?
Yeah, and so basically the technology newspaper, forget about the technology news, the headlines of newspapers as we hear about big data and dark data and these type of things, they become the primary marketer for your business.
Yeah, they're a key driver in sales. There would be large articles that came out back in the beginning when we acquired it, and we'd see sales spikes almost consistently with breaking news articles that had to do with larger hacks, people looking for privacy devices, routers, et cetera, that could do this. And within our router, we run the Tor network and VPN services as well. So basically, we offload what Tor users or VPN users would use system resources on their own computer to a device. Through that device, they're able to gain that anonymity, privacy, and security online.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating. Kind of give us a little bit about how the business model works.
Well, the business model right now, we're selling on the website, third-party marketplaces, Amazon, Rakuten, Newegg, etc. Just about all of them are covered. We were recently onboarded by Ingram Micro, which is your 62nd largest Fortune 500, and the device is making inroads into big box retail. Ingram Micro represents all the big guys, Fry's, Best Buy, Costco, 50 very, very large stores. So our inroads right now through our distributor is Ingram Micro, and the end goal is big box retail.
And what does it cost? What is the general price range for it?
Sure. So it ranges from $79.99 upwards of $119, and there's 4 different models in there. The original, which is the $79 price point. We've got the tunneler, which is we got the Fox, which is the next price point, $89. That is the Tor network embedded in it with an admin interface. Then we've got the tunneler, which is just a VPN router at $99. And then we've got the Pro, which includes your VPN, your Tor, and the admin interface, and that runs $119.
Is there any ongoing costs, like upgrades or subscription costs involved?
Sure. So we have different VPN services built into the tunneler and the Pro. Those services are paid services if you use our interface via one of our partners, like HMA, which is actually Hide My Ass. That's the name of their company. They have a VPN service built into our router, as well as Viper VPN, which we're about to launch in a firmware update here in the next week or two. And we have other VPN providers coming down line. We also have OpenVPN within our router, which allows people to install their own VPN solutions. So is there ongoing costs? If someone knows how to set up their OpenVPN side right, they may get around some ongoing costs. If someone wants to use the VPN services we have built in through Viper or HMA, there's an associated cost to them, to those companies, and it ranges from $6 to $10 a month.
Yeah, very interesting. So talk a little bit about your goals for 2015, or 16 rather.
For 2016, so making those inroads into big box retail is our primary focus right now. We've also got 2 other products in R&D right now that we'll hopefully be announcing here in the next, let's call it about a month. And our goals are really to stay at the forefront of this market and be the world champion as far as privacy devices online.
Talk about Wi-Fi. Do you have any products that deal with the privacy issues that come from that, or is that maybe stage 2?
Yeah, most certainly. So that's pretty much the swath of our products have some capabilities there. I'll take the Anonabox Pro for example. If you're sitting at a coffee shop, the Anonabox Pro allows you to uplink and get in between to get in between the Starbucks internet and the internet that's coming to your computer with your Anonabox. And so you can effectively uplink to their internet, get in between it, and then start running your Anonabox Pro little Wi-Fi router and get that anonymity and security through Tor or VPN services in that router. So yeah, in a Wi-Fi or public airport travel situation, if you're using your Anonabox router, effectively you disappear from someone that may be wire sharking that network. That's a scanner that is typically used in the beginning of hacks to look for what's going on the network, different IPs, the computers using the Wi-Fi network. And if you were using one of our devices, you'd effectively disappear.
Give your website one more time, Marc Preston, as we wrap up the segment.
Yes, sir. It is Anonabox, ANONABOX.com.
Thanks so much for being with us. Great segment.
Thank you.
When we come back, much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter.